everyone. Welcome to another develop log, vlog, or whatever you want to call it, of Monsters of Midnight. Instead of doing mechanics, I figured we'd take a break and do some, uh, lore development because we're gonna need lore. So that's what I thought we would do. And when I make lore, I tend to use a program called Scabard. It's an online system online application. Let me switch over to it here. Um, that allows you to create. It's built for campaigns, but I use it for world building quite a bit too. So we're going to just create a new campaign. Just so we're going to start fresh. Monsters of Midnight is what we're going to call it. This is going to be world building. So we're just going to create that. It asks you what type of genre. It's going to be fantasy. We're going to save that. So that's been saved. We do want to enable custom characters categories because I prefer that. So this is Scabard. Scabard is like I said, a campaign manager. It's basically designed to create places, objects, events, things in the world for your campaign. I'm using it for this. They always like to start with a place. So we need to create a place. So a place would be great. So I found this collaborative gamer um, place, which is basically tools for collaborating. And they have a system for creating fantasy hamlets, villages, towns, and metropolises. So I figured we go roll up a few and see what happens. And as we we'll change it and modify it as we need. So the first thing on this list is we get to choose a fantasy. So we have to roll 2d6, and that will tell us what we're going to do. So we're just going to roll a dice thing. So we get a 3 and a 5. So 3 and then 5. So this is a religious town. All right. So it's a religious town. I need a fantasy. I need a fantasy name generator. So I can create this. Um, does it have a name generator? It does not have a name generator. This is interesting. All right, we'll do this. Then I think that has a people name generator. It does. So um we'll just do this. Let's see what this comes up with. So roll twice. We got a 5 and a 5. So 5, 5. Matilda. Matilda sounds like a good name for our town. We'll call it Matilda. So we're going to click here. We're going to start. We're going to say it's a Matilda. It's going to be a town. It's going to be a central hub of midnight. All right. We know that it's going to be, what did we say? We said it was going to be religious. So there's going to be a religious element. So I'm going to put that down, religious. Probably something to do. So Monsters of Midnight is going to have a veil that gets ripped open at night. So it's probably going to have something to do with the veil, the religion. Um, so we'll put that down. And then it says step 2, memorable features. So let's roll a 2d12, 2d6 again. We got a 6 and a 4. So 1 through 6, 5 through 6 here, and then number 6. The settlement is known for a source of particular valuable objects, goods, or commodities. Perhaps the village brews a particular famous ale, or the like. Okay, I don't know. I hate table generators. I don't know why I'm using them. Um, the settlement is known for a source of particular valuable object, good, or perhaps the village brews a particular famous local ale. Sheepskins from this area can be made into the smoothest vellum. Maybe the city is the finest steel. All right, so those are the thoughts. So it's going to be a religious, and it's going to have a particular thing for it. Determining the layout. Roll 2d12. I don't care about the layout yet. I don't care about districts. All right, fine. This is a bad one. All right, let's just do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so let's roll. Let's just call it Matilda for now. We have a place called Matilda. All right, Matilda. Um, let's go into um more roles. I don't want roles. I want attributes and categories. That's what I want. And I want races. All right. So currently, nope, that's not what I want either. They've changed this quite a bit since I'm used to it. Town starter. All right. Let's go into here. So Matilda. Let's go ahead and edit it. All right. Central hub of midnight. It's going to be religious. We're going to say that. The religion, um, a very religious town. They worship the veil protector. A, an ancient deity that once protected the world's veil, but has been missing for the past 300 years. Um, let's see there. All right. So, very religious town, worshipped by the Veil Protector. So, this is what I like. So, when I save this, Veil Protector will probably come up as the Veil Protector. So now I can edit it, and I can say that it's a god. Um, and we can say that it's a character, and we can create it. So now I'm going to say it is the god of Matilda. Okay. So now when I go back into Matilda, if I actually go into the Matilda here and go to connections, you can actually see that Veil Protector is actually connected to this. So if I go to the connections, I can actually click on Veil Protector and I can go in to edit their information. Um, I can go in and edit their information, and we can put more information. Protector of the Veil. I feel like Veil should be a character on its own. I don't know if it should be a location or if it should be um a location or if it should be a character. I'm not sure yet. But we should probably edit this, and because this is his second name, coming in here. There's an alias option. We can just do that, so that way it doesn't keep popping up. All right, going back to Matilda. No, I didn't want to click plus. I wanted to go edit. Okay. So let's say um I'm not going to make districts because I don't think Matilda is big enough to be a district. Well, it's the central hub, so it's probably one of the largest cities in the in the world. So maybe it does have districts. District name generator fantasy. City name. We'll just do this. Um, let's say Basswick. Basswork. Mm, North Hague. That's a good district. So we'll add a new district. Why is it not letting me add a district? We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Districts. North Hague. North Hague. Um, what if we have this be like the witch coven? Um, like maybe it's like where the witches congregate yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Um Congregate. So this is northern wall, northern, well, it's North Hague, so it has to be the top. So um what do we want to call our witch coven that's in the city? Let's call them Moonchilds. Moonchilds home operation, where location location of the witch coven called Moonchildren. Moonchildren, uh, they are a strong player in the city using their magic to create harmony in the city. Hmm. Ah, brain not working. Come on, brain, work with me. All right, so Moon Children. So if I say that, it's going to ask me what North Hag is. We can change that. We're going to say that it's a place. It's going to be a sub-region of Matilda. The North Hag should be there now. I'm surprised it didn't come up with Moonchild. All right, well, we'll have to create Moon Children. That's fine. We can come over here and we can go new group. We can call it Moon Children. They're going to be a witch coven. Witch coven is, that's fine. Actually, you know what? Let's call it mage faction. Just call it mage. Um, they are a witch coven that Witch Coven who resides in Matilda. Location. Look, headquarters of Matilda. There we go. So now they're tied to that. So Matilda has 3 connections. So if we go to Matilda, you can actually go into connections here. And we can say headquarters of the Moon Children. So now we go to Moon Children are part of the North Hag, which is part of the Matilda, which is part of the Veil, which has the Veil Protector connection. Um, who is the leader? Let's set the leader of the um let's create a character name. Fantasy and folklore. Let's do a human fantasy uh human name because it's gonna be a human. Human. Elf. Elf name, half elf. Let's do this. Let's do a yeah. Let's do Aries. Aries. And then I need a last name. So Aries. No. Swahili names. Morocco names. Tazi. Tazy. He is human. Let's make him the leader. All right, so now we have a leader. Let's create a couple shops. Uh, actually, you know what? Let's actually put the shops in North Hag. So in North Hag, we'll do some connections and we'll do subregions of North Hag. So North subregion. Let's do well, we're gonna have a witch's brew, like a witch's coven shop. Let's call it their moon children. So let's say the Stars and Moons Cafe. Stars and Moons. It is a shop. It is a magical shop in the district of North Hag. Let's go ahead and add another. Let's have it in there. Let's call it the dancing jaguar. Dancing jaguar. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's see if they had. Oh, we got. It's going to be an inn and tavern. Um, Gilded Griff, the Wandering Oak, the Drunken Dragonfly, the Silver Chalice. I think Silver Chalice works. We'll do that. Um, what else should we have in this witch coven type area? Um, we have the Silver Chalice and the Stars and the Moons. Um, that's good enough for now. 2 points of interest is good. Okay, in North Hag, we have the Stars and Moons. Stars and Moons, a magical shop in North Hag. Um, this is going to be a local tavern slash inn that all right, so we have three shops, guilds. We have the Moonchild Guild. Uh, what else? What other factions should we have? Let's see here. Let's do um add a guild to Matilda. Let's do something like um we need a name for something that I think we should have like a faction that wants to rip down the veil instead of protect it. So maybe like um yeah, we get definitely need like a let's add another district. Places and location, district names, city district names. Oh, do 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 do. Swoop. Let's add a different another district name. We'll add um South Bend. No, let's not call the South. Let's do um what doesn't Uh yeah, I'm not very talkative today. Um, let's call it. I want like a north and a south, like a south. Let's call it something though. Let's call it Higgins Way District. Um, let's see what it randomly comes up with. Elder Grove Glen, I don't like that. Thornwick Hollow, I don't like that. Amberstone Quarter. I like Amberstone Quarter. We'll add Amberstone Quarter. All right. We need a subregion. We need a uh, blacksmith, some sort. It's gonna be a shop. Enchanted Emporium, no, I don't like that. Arcane Oddities, I don't like that. Gilding Griff, I don't like that. Mystic Herbs and Potions. The Wandering Merchant, Treasures of Twilight. Treasures of Twilight might work. Not what I was looking for. Gilded Griff. I don't like any of those. Let's see. Let's call it the Yorkshire blacksmith. Local blacksmith. Create that. All right. This is Yorkshire Blacksmith Company. All right. Let's do I need a venturing guild name. Hunter name, like a hunter guild. Hunter. Let's see. Fantasy folklore. Let's do her course names. Benjamin's a Horus. Do. Let's do. Uh, what is Norse for protector? The Norse word for protector is Verdor. Himmler. I think I like this one. Vordar. Call it the Vordor Guild. however you say it. They are a guild hall. All right, so Matilda's kind of got a leader, got that. The leader um is human. Um all right, tutorial's done. Um Headquarters is the Proto Guild, which should create connection. Yay, it did. Matilda, Proto. So if I go back to my connections, midnight groups, go back here. Member quarters. This should be linked here, and it's not. What? Oh, it is. Okay. That was weird. Huh. Anyways. Um. So Matilda has multiple shops as a character. I think I'm going to edit this here. And we need to change that. Get rid of that. That should fix the problem that I'm seeing. So if I go back to Monsters Midnight, there we go. That looks better. Good. That's much better. Don't know why it disappears that, but that's okay. And then do the same thing here. Rid of that. Put that just like that. So that it actually is linked the way I was expecting it to. There we go. That's what I'm expecting. Doop, doop, doop. And actually, this is going to go some. Probably the stars and moons. So let me. Actually change this to stars and moons. There we go. So now we have Emmer Quarter, North Quarter. The Veil Protector is their god. Um, all right. Central Hub of Midnight. Uh, Very religious town that worships the Veil Protector, ancient day that protected the world's veil. but has been missing for the past 300 years. It has the district of North Hagen and the district of Amber. What's it called? Amber. Amber Quarter. Amber Stone Quarter. Amber Stone Quarter. Stone Quarter, which is the location of the Bordor, who are a guild that was designed to hunt the monsters of midnight. Oh, this is interesting. The monster of midnight. We'll get there. I haven't. What else did it find? Location of Bordor. Yeah, that. Ignore that. You're gonna ignore monsters of midnight too for now. Because I'm not sure if that's gonna be actually a thing or how it's gonna be. All right, so we have Amberstone Quarter, North Hag. Those are part of Matilda. Matilda is a human-based. I want it to be mainly human population with a scattering, scattering of other species. I don't have a map. I really need to get a map. Attributes. It says it has 6, but I didn't see any. Attributes. Probably add more. Like there's roles too. NPC can races. I want to modify these. I don't want. I used to be able to. Um, folder. So it's a folder. Folders. Folders. Contents. Attributes and categories. How do I modify attributes now? New attribute. It's been a while since I've used this. It's changed quite a bit since the last time I used it. Want to modify which ones are available. I think I'm gonna have to go reach out for help, which is not what I'm used to. Um, 0 players, 0 maps. Category of role. Try something. Let's create an attribute of dwarf. At connections, it's a category of races. No, that's not what I want. Delete that then. Race is human. Gender is he's going to be male. Class is nobleman. Um, role is NPC. Oh, cool. Cool. There we go. We got some there. What's this chat feature? All right. Can't chat feature. Oh my god, it feels like using a new software. That's how weird I feel. Been a while since I've used it. Um, so Ares is an elected official. Official. Can't type. Of the town of Matilda. Matilda. I can spell today, I sure. He used to be, is a retired hunter, which I might change the name of. Hunter might, I might call them something else. But for now, we'll call it Hunter. He is a retired hunter. He saved the town of Matilda back in the day, and as repayment, he was set up with a house. He used his money from hunting to become an important figurehead in the workings of Matilda. He brought in ore from the mountains. Oh, what should we call the mountains? Um, mountains, 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 mountains. Mountain names. English. Uh, English. Kind of like the Moaning Tops. Moaning Tops is a good one. Uh, Whitduff Mountains. The Whitduff Mountains, just north of the town. This action, this trade route, has caused many adventurers, many hunters, to come looking for better equipment. All right, so I should find the White Duff Mountains. It did. This is a mountain range in the northern part of Midnight. It is a place. It is a neighbor of home of maker of prison. That oh, what's his connection of? He doesn't have a connection besides the trade route. He'll have connections to the uh people of those mountains, which we can probably go take care of right now. Monsters of Midnight. All. Let's go to the White Duff Mountains. Um, let's go ahead and place a group in here. What is the group's name? The group is a dwarf, not a venturing guild, a mining company. Let's not call it mining company. Ooh, we need a new group name. It's not technically um what is the group category? It would be a guild. A crafters guild. Um Crafters guild. It's not a brewmaster, not the thread weavers. No. No, that's not it either. No. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a blacksmith. Um, dwarf guild. Maybe we'll do dwarf guild. See what that comes up with. Forge keep. Dedicated to the art, metalworking, members of crafting. Don't like it. Guide to name generation. I want it to be the white duff. You know what? Cancel. I don't like it. Nope. Stop. Monsters of Mayhem. Go back to the White Duff Mountains. We're going to add um I want the dwarfs. I guess the dwarfs are going to be living in this range. So I need to figure out how to make species. Uh can we add a connection that would put a race in this area? I guess I'm going to create groups of all the races. I guess. I um guess I'm going to have to sit and figure out how to use Scabard again. They've changed it so much. Um it's not a bad change. It's just I'm not used to the way they've changed it. So I guess I'm going to have to sit down and figure out how to best use it again. Um I have to figure out how to get races in there without just adding them to connections because I'd like to make descriptions on those races. Um, because if I go to midnight and I go to all, I don't think it created. If I go to attributes, I used to be able to like click. Used to be able to go into like these. I guess it just you just add it and then you do category of. Okay, so I go back to attributes. Go to new attribute. We're gonna say this is dwarf. Um, we're gonna save it, not dward. Edit, then delete it because that's not what I meant to do. New attribute. We're gonna call it dwarf. And then I guess you edit the connections of it, and you put this as race. Species is what I want, but I guess attribute of race of character. Attribute of character. All right, let me do it this way. I'm going to delete. go back to midnight. We're going to create a character, new character. We're going to call race is going to be dwarf. Add dwarf, and okay, so that created dwarf. We want elf, so let's create elf. That's going to create elf. We want human, which I think it did not create, so we'll create human. Um, uh, and we'll call that good for now. Let me cancel this for a sec. Let's see if it created those attributes. Elf, dwarf, human. Okay. So we need to come up with a name because I have three other races that aren't your standard thing. There's a lizard race, there's going to be a jaguar race, and there's going to be a stone, like a golem type race. So let's create those. But let's create names for them real quick. Fantasy and lore. We need a species name. Is there a species? K-pop group names. That's awesome. Species. If I type in species, can species name. Species names. Um, let's see here. Groves? I kind of like that. Groves? As like maybe the Groves is kind of cool. We'll keep looking. I think it's going to be Groves for the stone people. So we're going to go ahead and go to character, new. We're going to create a new one. We're going to come up here. We're going to put Groves, cancel. We're going to capitalize Groves because I want it to be capitalized. They are a stone golem race species. All right, let's make sure that worked. I'm pretty sure it did, but let me make sure. Bros. Yep, bros. Cool. It created bros. Stone golem race. Races. All right. Let's create. We need a couple. We need some more species. Let's do alien species. Okay. So thought process. Do I have a lizard race? Or do I have a plant race? Now, the plant race, maybe a cactus race, because I need a desert species. So I was thinking lizard, but everybody does lizard for. Let's do a cactus race. What should we call them? Let's see. Cacti, cacti, cotas, cotus. So Q U. I mean CUCUS. Cutus. What are what are different cactus names? Cactus names. I need different cactus names. Let's see here. Um because they not all live in the desert. What's desert cactus names? Prickly pear, cholo. Kind of like that cholo. What do cholos look like? I mean, I knew I wasn't the first person to think of this, but kind of cool. Um, do I want to make them brutes or small little creatures? I mean, that's an interesting thought process. Is like, do they become brutes like this, or are they like cute and cuddly like this? I think this is what I'm gonna go for, and I think the name that we had, Cholos, kind of works with that. So let's do that. Characters, new character, new character. We're gonna go ahead and place it in here, Cholo. The cactus species that is small and adorable. All right. We'll write we'll get more in depth in there in 2 seconds. I need to come up with so the last jaguar humanoid is the last thing that I was thinking was that we do like a jaguar type species. Um that's a really cool image. I like that. Um show more images. I don't want them to just be like I don't want should I do jaguar or black panther? I don't like black panther idea. I think there's more images for Black Panther. What do we think? I know I only have one person watching, so um, yeah, it's gonna be a panther race. So, what are different names? Common name for a melanzic leopard or a jaguar, not a distinctive species. Um, video. What am I doing? I need cat names then. Cat names. Snuggles, the Kodai, Tukis, Teiyu, the Teiyu. That might be a good name, Teiyu. I'm gonna copy that one because that's a good name. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Teiyu. What does Teiyu mean, though? I don't want to. Refers to several concepts. The most prominent is a vital micro-associated protein in neurons, crucial for brain cell structure, linked to Alzheimer's disease. Um, Mathematics, the Greek letter, the 19th letter used to symbols various, including Tau particle, equal to 2 pi, representing the full circle of one full turn, preferred by some over the pi for clarity and circular functions. A short-lived elementary particle in Lipton family. All right, so the Tau is not; it's just a Greek alphabet type thing. I'm okay with that. Let's call it Teo. And they will be a did I say panther? Yeah, panther uh humanoid race species. All right, let's go now that I have those all done, let's go in and create info about them. So the first things first is the choila. Let's do those first. Those are the cactus species. Let's edit those. Um Small cactus race, a species that developed when the veil became weak, weakened in the Nobile Desert. Did I spell desert right or is it dessert? I always get them mixed up. Desert is a barren. Okay, so I spelled it right. Nobile Desert. The species is about 150 years old and is the newest species in the world of midnight. Uh, they their culture is, how should I have their culture be? They're in the desert. I don't want it to be Aztec. Um, they're in the desert though, so should we have them like is new and rough? Some what do I call them? Chola don't understand other species culture. They are jokesters. They are immature compared to other species. Um, no one knows how long they live because there are species, there are chola still around from their creation. They worship um, young two, young two, young two. Um, the young two, a young two, young two, young two is a young goddess who helped create the chola by chola. She did so to seal the veil in the nobile desert. Um, what else should I do? Let's see here. Nobile desert. Uh, the chola are are friendly and welcoming to strangers. They accept that they are the newest species and try to respect others' claims on their lands because they're nope, I don't want that. They accept that they are the newest species. They tend to have little to no aggression against any other species, but the Veil monsters are a completely different story. I don't have anything. No, I just have okay. Aggression. All right, so they have no real aggression. So, thoughts on elves? Um, they feel elves being Chola thoughts on elves. They think they're too old and set in their ways. They feel the elves could have done more to protect the realm. Protect, just call it midnight. Um, this is getting in the way. Chola thoughts on dwarfs. Uh, they very rarely interact with other with dwarfs since their lands are so far apart. It's usually curiosity since they are the only species about their height. Um, Chola, thoughts on what do I call the jaguars? The Teo. Teo. Um, being the nearest species to the Chola try to keep good relationships with the Teo. Their relationships ship is strained due to the Chola making most of the glass in the realm in midnight. The Teo have little need for the glass and find it hard to trade with the Chola, which the Chola need for their sustenance. Spelled that wrong. Since they live in a desert and only eat vegetables. No, I don't like that. No. All right. Chola, their relationship is strained due to the Chola making the most of the glass in midnight. Their relationship is due to Cholas not always keeping their side of a bargain. Chola's thoughts on humans. They feel humans are an infestation on the planet, as they are as humans are the dominant species of midnight. They play nice, but feel that the industrial tendencies of the humans are destructive to the to midnight. What was the last? Okay, dwarfs. I have one more. What was I calling them? Dang it! What did I call the mountain people? I'll have to save and then find out. That can go away. That can go away. That is the chola god character. Place. Midnight. That is a place. I should probably create it. The main spot. Veil monsters. That's going to be a character. Actually, it's probably going to be a group. Now that I think about it. See if I can find the veil monsters. Hmm. Can we change this to be? We'll just change. We'll just delete it and then just create a group. Group. Create. Veil monsters. Monsters. Nobly Desert. Can't do that. Okay. Um. Oops. Did not mean to go all the way back. Go to campaigns. Monsters of Midnight. Let's edit this. Let's change the images. What I want. We're gonna do Monsters of Midnight. There we go. That way when I go to campaign, it should. There we go. Monsters of Midnight. Perfect. Let's see. All right. So Midnight is the world. So let's do this. World of the game. Um, it has ties to all kinds of places. So let's do connections. It's going to be the subregion of this place is going to be Matilda, um, Nobile Desert are going to be two of them. So if I go to Monsters of Midnight, go to the graph, it should be monsters. Where's the monster? Why? Hmm? Okay, there it is. It did do that. It just I clicked off. All right, so that's the main place, and then we have two others. Okay. All right, Monsters of Midnight. All right, so let's go back to the races real quick, because races. Dwarf, Teu, humans, Broves. That's why I called them Broves. Similar to the dwarfs, the Cholo don't interact much with the Broves. When they do, they when the Cholo interact do and the Cholo do, the Cholo are annoying to the Broves as Cholos are curious and Cholos find the Broves to be stern and boring. They don't like to they will find ways to frustrate and annoy the Broves because they are so stoic. Stoic. I spelled that wrong. Let's see if it will correct it. There we go. All right. Small cactus species that developed when the veil became weakened in the Noble Desert. Species is about 150 years old and is the newest species in the world of midnight. Their culture is new and rough. Some Charla don't understand other species' cultures. They are immature compared to other species. No one knows how long they live because there are trolls still around from their creation. They worship Young Tu. Young Tu is a young goddess who helped create the troll. She did so to seal the veil in the noble desert. The troll are friendly and welcoming to strangers. They accept that they are the newest species. They tend to have little to no aggression against other species, but veil monsters are a completely different story. They are sworn to Young to protect the lands from the Vale monsters. Many Chola become um, well, however I whatever I said they become Fogar. Fogar. We'll call it Fogar. Fogar. Or Vogora. Vogora? Vigora? Vigora? Just Vigora. Help gardeners create the lawn and gardens oasis by creating one-stop shop. Vigora fertilizers. Vigora is a team sport played by mainly by women. Women in Australia that originally combined elements of cricket and tennis, though its current form may be more similar to cricket and baseball. I don't know if I like that word. Let's find a synonym for hunter. Cinnamon. 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 Hunter. Huntsman. Predator. Chashu. Shak. Ooh, what's a shakari? Shakari. Indian English. Pronounce plural noun shakaris. A guide or hunting. How do you say it? Oh, I got to turn on my headphones so I can hear it. All right, let's take a look. Listen to this. Make sure that my headphones are actually on because sometimes they aren't. They did not turn on. Let's see. Find out why. Fun times. I love technical issues. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. All right. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see how this is. Shikara. 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 A light or flat bottom boat. Shikara. Shikari. Shikari. Shikari is actually what I want because Shikara is the boat. So Shikari. I like that. We'll call it Shikari. I got to go back and fix some things, but that's all right. Shikari. Shikari. Let's go back to Monsters of Midnight. We need to go back to this one here. We're going to actually edit that. We're going to call it Shikari instead. We're going to change this to be the Shikari Guild. Shikari. Let's go back. It's under Shikari Guild. Yep. So we got to go back to Emberstone. No. Maybe it's in Matilda that I wrote it. I wrote one of these. Location of, yeah, there it is. Location of Shikari. A guild that was designed to hunt monsters of midnight. There we go. Location of the Shikari. AKA, we'll just call that the look. There we go. All right. So there we go. That fixes that problem. I don't think anywhere it's not in my campaign at all. Yeah, good. The Shikari is, right? Yeah, Shikari's all over the place. All right, good. Going back to the Cholo. So they become Shikari. Shikari, protectors of the veil. I like that. That's good. Hello, welcome people watching. All right. So Charlas are going to be a cactus species that is small and adorable. They're going to be. They were created by Young Tu. Young Tu is a young goddess who created the Charla. She did so to seal the veil to in the noble desert. The Chala are friendly and welcoming to strangers. They accept that they are the newest species. They tend to have little to no aggression against other species, but Veil monsters are a completely different story. They are sworn, even though I spelt it wrong. Let me fix that because that's going to drive me crazy. Sworn too young to protect the lands of the vile monsters, and many Trala becomes Shikari. Shikari are going to be the hunters of the world. So um Shikari are going to be the hunters. Let's talk about the Shikari because Shikari, protectors of the veil. Um Shikari um is a term in Midnight used to describe men, cre- humanoid humans, men, women, and the like. Oh, how do you describe? I won't say humans, um, but I want to say like a species, like women, and others. Describe people, I guess, would be the best term that hunt the vicious monsters that rip through the veil at night. Um, they are usually registered with the I can't type today. Shikari Guild. Shikari Guild, giving them benefits that would not normally exist, such as discounts at shops, inns, taverns, and usually warm welcomes in most towns. We'll get more in depth than that, I'm sure, but for now, that's what we're going to do. Just something so I know exactly what they are when I get to them, when I get back to them. Um, the Shikari Guild is um Shikari Guild. I believe I can have guild leaders. I can have guild leaders. I can have homes. Um, okay, we'll deal with that in a little bit. So, all right. Noble Desert, Nobile Desert. Let's talk about Nobile Desert. Nobile Desert is a small town in the southern part of Midnight. Um, Main species is the chola, a chola. Chola are a cactus species that was brought there by the goddess Young. Um, they rebuilt a city, which a town, because it's not big, town that was destroyed in the aftermath of. I'm creating an event, so make sure that you name it right. Um, Aftermath of the Veil of Darkness. Um, the Veil of Darkness was a time about 150 years ago when the Veil monsters uh, almost destroyed the Veil, which protects midnight from the other side. Should we call it? I'll come up with something else. I'm gonna bold that so I know that I gotta come up with something else. The other side. Cholas call the Nobile Desert um by the name of need a Spanish name for desert. What's the Spanish name for desert? Deserto, deserteo. Don't like either of those. Aztec. Aztec name for desert. Talia. I kind of like that. We'll call it that. Talia. Or home. Do we want to come up with something like Aztec name for home, homeland? Aztlan? Aztlan? Mythical legendary homeland of Aztec people, believed to be paradise which migrated south. How can I change that to make it work? I don't want it to be exactly Atsley. Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, Neil, what's up? You want to come on and talk with me? I'll send you the link. I'm kind of bored, so. Well, I'm not bored. I'd be happy to have you come join me. Okay, let me send you the link. Hold on. Don't switch. Talk to Neil. Neil. Where are you, Neil? There's the link, Neil. I am gonna quickly go to, yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, Veil of Darkness is going to be an event. This is going to be an event. This is the 150 years ago monsters almost broke the veil. Connection. This is the setting. All right. The veil. It's an important piece, but I think it's going to be an item. Yeah, I think that's more of an item. Main protection of the world of midnight. Uh, Veil of Darkness, cactus species that can be ignored. Main species that can be ignored. Veil of Darkness was pretty much the same as Veil of Darkness, except it's the Veil of Darkness. So we'll just do that so it saves everything, and then scan it again, and it doesn't find anything. Good. And there is Neil. How is Neil? Let me get Neil onto the camera so people can see, or at least hear you, because let me put Neil on instead of there. How is Neil today?
Good. I just woke up. Oh hi. And yeah, I just saw that you were streaming, and I
I
just
am, yeah.
thought to say hi.
Well,
So
hello. Maybe you can help me because I'm slowly developing Monsters of Midnight. I just finished a new race. Well, not finished, but you know, got some information. They're called the cholas. They're a cactus species. They're a small cactus species. Um, they're going to be the newest species of Midnight. They're only going to be 150 years old. They were created by the god of Young Tu, who is a young goddess that created the chola to help seal the veil in the noble desert. Um, they're very warm and welcoming to strangers, and they accept that they are the newest species. They tend to have little and no aggression against other species, but Veil monsters are a completely different story. They are sworn to protect the lands of the Veil monsters, so many Chola become what I'm calling Shikari, which are basically the hunters of the monsters. And that's where we're pretty much at. I was gonna dive into the Broves, I think, next, which is a fairly large stone golem type race. Um, they are going to live in the I think it's called the, what did I call it? Have you used Scabard before?
no, you told me about it, but I
Okay.
haven't used it.
It's definitely different since the last time I used it.
Mm.
um,
Updates.
no, oh yeah, it's not bad updates. It's just not. I'm not used to dealing with.
Right.
They're going to be in the White Duff Mountains. That's where they're going. That's right. So going back here, attributes. Go ahead. Tell me. What do you
Is
say?
is this the same system as the playing card system, or a
Mm-hmm.
different system?
No,
Okay.
this is the playing card system. Um, I'm taking a break of the mechanics because they got boring, and you know how I am with boring. So I'm figured I'd develop some of the world, and it might help get me some inclinations of where I'm going to do. And then the white duff. Okay, so how do we want White Duff Mountains? Um, the species should be. I think they're going to be one of the eldest, oldest species, but also the most young lived. Um, live in the White Duff Mountains, high, high in the altitude, where the snow is deep. Altitude is spelt wrong. Um, I just realized it's hard to read. Um, White Duff Mountains, high in the altitudes. Their culture. I don't want to do a typical mountain culture of being gruff and stoic, but I've already said they're stoic creatures. Um,
So they're stone golems, right?
yeah,
One thing and you said they're young lived. So say if since they're made of stone, they start off as basically pebbles, and then they get older. Like they get like so big, like a boulder size, that they actually turn into rocks.
yeah. I want them to be the
So,
bigger of the races. Like out of all my species, they're going to be like the brutes as far as like
mm-hmm,
size is concerned. Um,
mm-hmm.
but they could start out as younglings. They could start out very younglings, only a year or two old. Too old. The oh, I got an idea. As younglings, only a year or two old, the roves is what I call them, right? Yeah, roves. Uh, roll down the mountainside and to gain mass as they accept the mountain spirit um, energy as a um, passing of age. So so basically they roll down the hill and they become stronger and bigger as the debris of the mountain gathers into their body. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Youngling, only a year or two old, grows roll down the mountainside to gain mass as they accept the mountain spirit's energy as a passing of not a passing as a
uh, Rite of age, or
yeah rite of passing is what I was trying to think of.
yeah.
Um, many grove stay in the mountains to and few actually travel the world. They are quiet and stoic, much as I want to stoic, even though I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. I get the idea. They're quiet and stoic, um, using their traditions to hold on to their culture since they live to only about 30 years of age. So they are short lived. Though short lived, they are the oldest species in Midnight. Ancestors, ancestors dating back to the formation of the mountains themselves. Um, I'm out of juice. Um, yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. So their culture is deep and rooted, but they don't live that long.
Hmm.
Um, Filled with an arcane magic, most magic, which unites their memories in a tribal. No, I don't want that. I changed my mind. Filled with an
So,
arcane magic. Mm-hmm.
well, what I'm thinking is, yeah, they're filled with arcane magic, and when they're young, they have a lot of it. It's very potent, but as they age, they become larger, and once they become larger, uh, the magic doesn't. It's too much for them, or they're too much for the magic, and so that's why um, they they basically die and turn into big, large rocks.
I got a,
So they're
I, I got a idea. Um, as they become larger, the magic fades. It's not uncommon to see large um robes as giant statues in the world. Um, their ancestors were titans of the the realm realm
maybe
of midnight. Just call it midnight.
their ancestors maybe make up like the mountains and
That's what I'm
uh
saying. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I was going with that. The ancestors were titans of midnight, which is how most of the, which is how mountains are formed. Mountains. No, I don't want to say it that way. I want to say it. The ancestors are were titans of midnight, sacrificing themselves to protect the protect midnight from the veil monsters by creating mountains of themselves. Sacrificing spell if I spell it correctly, it might be better. Sacrificing themselves to protect midnight from the veil monsters by creating mountains of themselves. Um, Robes worship these mighty beings by celebrating once every moon cycle to celebrating every moon cycle by digging their feet into the ground and sharing their magic back to the world. And that's the reason why they don't live long. If somebody actually took the time and was selfish, they'd live longer. I think that's good.
Hmm.
Um,
Is there a like mining race or ancestry?
yeah, dwarfs.
No, yeah. Maybe
So
they probably have a strong hatred for dwarves because dwarves dig through rocks.
Especially if they dig through their ancestors, the mountains
Yeah,
themselves.
absolutely. Yep.
Um, Rogues have a strong opinion on dwarfs, calling them, what should we call them for a slur? Dwarfs.
Uh, I'm thinking. I don't know. I was just thinking stinky, but they probably don't smell. Dwarves.
Well,
Well, what are dwarves? Dwarves are short. They're they're stout.
I was
They're
thinking of maybe like an insect, insect name, like because they're invading their ancestors. It's kind of like they're um
flea or gnat or worm.
calling them bearded worms.
Hmm.
Um, they the Broves feel that dwarfs disrespect disrespect their ancestors by mining the mountains for their ores.
What about a bearded leech?
Bearded leech, that's a good one. Bearded leech. I like that better. Um Broves find cholas chola frustrating, frustrating. I can't type today, but that's okay. I haven't been able to type my entire life, so frustrating and slightly annoying because the cholas never stop talking and are constantly little pests about their size and girth, mass. Um, Groves have no strong opinions on the human race, human species. Can't type today. Um, they find their farming techniques useful for trading, since growing crops in the mountains, mountaintops, to be difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. Um, Groves rarely interact with the Teu. Teu and Groves tend to have a mutual respect for the environment of midnight, which translates into a camaraderie between the two species.
What the only thing that I can do humans use metal weapons?
Yeah, but so don't the. I mean, I would assume the Bros do too, but they probably look at them as like a a um a respect to their elders,
Mm.
their ancestors. They tend to, but then again, man, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't use metal weapons. Maybe they use stone weapons.
Mm.
What do you think?
Well, that's if all the ancestors were, you know, giants. Maybe the ancestors, the giants made the mountains, but then there are other deposits with like non-giant metal weapons, or
What if we do this? What if Bros are uh, what if it's not that they disrespect the dwarfs because they mine, but because of the way they mine?
of the
Bros feel
what?
that dwarfs disrespect their ancestors by viciously mining the mountains for their ores, where rogues use a stone mending magic to ease the transition of the ore from
Um,
the flesh stone of their ancestors.
Bros use but everyone mines, but they use a more sustainable method of mining.
That's what I mean. They use like a
Yeah.
stone. They can bend stone. Maybe they can bend stone to modify their um to take the ore out of the stone and leave the stone. Where the dwarfs are gun ho about chipping away the stone and getting to the ore.
Mm.
Bros really interact with Teo. Teo, just so you know, Teo is a panther race of species
Mm-hmm.
that live in the jungle. Um, I have elves right now. I'm really debating whether I want elves. I hate elves. I know so many people like elves though.
Everyone does
I hate
elves.
elves. I'm not an elf person. Um,
So the only thing that like I just googled Teu and or TAU and it gets me a lot of like Warhammer, I think.
okay, because I got a concept of a Greek alphabet because it's a Greek alphabet letter,
It is, yes, but it also is Warhammer.
which means you can't copyright it.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it means.
True,
Because it's
true,
a
true.
Greek letter, you can't copyright it. So, unless you have a better idea for the panther type race name, I'm trying to avoid Aztec because the Cholo have Aztec type names. I'm all for changing the name. Um, I wasn't happy with it. I just didn't have a better solution.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, you
Um,
think about it, and then we'll work on them last. Races, connections. Let's do the elves. I don't want standard elves. How can I make elves less standard? I guess if I have dwarfs, I should have elves.
What
I
about
just don't
if
like.
the elves share uh, a hive mind?
That might be interesting. All right, hold on, everyone. I've got to put you all. I got to do a be right back. I'll be right back.
Be right.
Sorry, folks. That was I had a phone call that I had to take, which I've been streaming for 2 hours, so that's not surprising. All right. So elves, you're thinking like a hive mind.
Yep. I was thinking like maybe like bug like.
That would be different. I just feel like Token had this thing for elves. He just bugs me.
I mean,
All
they're
right.
always depicted as tall, slender, woodland.
Yeah, I'm okay with them depicting as tall, slender woodland, but maybe you're maybe right. Maybe they have like a bee like hive mind type situation where they are a female led female what do you call it when you have like a female society? Oh, why can't I think of the name for this? Uh Female led society where they
Matriarchy.
matriarchy. That thank you. I'm spelling that wrong, but maybe it will correct it for me. Yeah, it did. Matriarchy. Um, where they have a main queen who leads them through her own telepathy. Who have a main queen. They share a hive like connection, but have individual personalities. I want them to have like a hive mind connection, but I don't want them to be like Borg. If that makes sense.
Right.
Um, they share a hive-like connection, but have individual personalities. Um, they can share memories and dreams with each other through a um, meditation style um, ritual, which allows for long distance communication. Um, it is an honor to share this ritual with another. The ritual connects the two minds together for the rest of their lives. Um, Usually, this is only done with important people of your life, such as parents, siblings, and spouses. Parents, siblings, children, spouses. Everyone is, whoops, not a whole bunch of spaces, Dave, is connected in some way to the queen who maintains order in the. What if we don't have them in a forest? What if we have them in like a plain, like you know how um like a plains, like a hilly plains where they actually tunnel under the ground and create like an underground city per se, not like in a mountain, like not like like an anthill almost.
Yeah, or like prairie dogs or something.
What should we I'm not going to call it the hive, but for now it will be the hive. Yeah, prairie dogs, like prairie dogs. Yeah. Um, Many who seek to become. Forgot how I spelled it. Dang it. Hey, Kari. Kari.
Now, this is a fantasy.
Yes,
Wor-
it
Right.
is medieval fantasy type style. Do so under the command of the queen. Um, Many who seek to become a shikari do so under the command of the queen. They become protectors of the hive. Do I just get rid of elves in general and just make them an insectoid?
Yeah.
All right, we need to come
Or
up with a name. What do we call them? Fix you, pick you, pick you, fix you, fix us,
Um,
pix. What do we call them? That's my hardest part. Is usually coming up with names. uh,
hmm.
insect names. Insect.
So
Insect names
insect
that have
synonym a synonym a synonym oh God, synonym is maybe the insect instead of they're like the elves. Maybe since they burrow, maybe they're the dwarfs. Well, the not not in traditional bearded dwarf. Because one of the synonyms for insect is dwarf.
nematodes.
Yeah, that could work.
Nematode as the um nematodes of monsters of midnight. Their matriarchy, where the queen, that they have a main queen. They share a hive link connection, but have individual personalities. They can share dreams and with each other through a meditation style rituals, which allows them for long distance communication. It is an honor to share this ritual with another. The ritual connects the two minds together for the rest of their lives. Usually, this is only done with important people such as your life, spouse, and care. Everyone is connected to the queen who maintains order in the hive. Many who seek to become shikari do so under the command of the queen. They become protectors of the hive. What's another word for hive? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Colony. What's a
Hub.
scap? What's a scap? Scap, a straw or wicker behind.
Um, a kernel, nucleus.
A doomed hive of twisted straw. A domed hive of scap. I think that's what it's going to be, a scap.
Mm.
Because scaps are a domed hive, and they live in the grasslands with domes, is my thought process. This still needs to be hive-like connection. They become protectors of the scap. Maintain mortar order in the scap. Um, Skeps are rast, grass uh, based, grass based, um, based domes that hold that are entryways into the further Axis of the high of the skip. No, that doesn't make sense. Skips are grass, dome, uh, what do I call them? Nomads, nemotides. Nemotides create grass domes in the grasslands. What should we call the grasslands? We'll just call it grasslands for now. Which are entryways into the skep. Skeps are underground cities. I guess I'll call them cities. Where nemotides live. Yeah, that works. Of course, now I got to go back to all the other races that I've done, and just the Chola and Rose. It's not that many, and change elves to be knights. Think that they're old and set in their ways, and they feel that nemotides could have done more to protect them. I'm still okay with that thought process. Races, the bros. What do the bros think of the elves? Did I write it? I don't think I wrote it. I did not, so we saved something. Bros, respect nemotides as they use the earth, use the ground as homes and homes. They respect their encouragement of the soil and growth growth of vegetation. No, I don't want to do that. Respect their encouragement of the soil. We'll just do that. All right. So now there's no more elves, I don't believe. Let me make sure. Elf. None. Elves. Where are elves? Oh, themselves. That's fine. Oops. If I can type. Can't type today. Stone golems. Make sure it's themselves.
It is Saturday morning.
Okay. Cool. All right. So elves are no longer in the system. What do nemotides look like? That's the next question. I don't think they're insects per se.
Mm.
What if they're worm-like?
Oh, I was uh first I was thinking more like elf-like, like long and slender, but pale because they live in the underground. Um,
I don't want
but
them to be like, what about something like this, where like, I know this is Lizard Man, but what if they're like,
So when you said worm like, I was thinking of the Sugathi, which is a Pathfinder, which
Sugathi? How
yeah,
do you spell it?
um, Seugathi. They're all in the Abomination Vaults, but I wouldn't want to go towards that.
I
I
want it.
would
No, I want it to be kind of humanoid
bipedal. Yeah.
ish.
Okay.
I want it to be like bipedal ish.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm thinking like snake like a snake.
With legs.
Yeah, but more not less reptilian, more
Maybe with two beady eyes and a mouth like an axolotl. Maybe it looks like an axolotl without the fins.
yeah, maybe I was thinking um what if we did something like a demogorgon, but but instead of being um like this, they're snake like their faces um
Or maybe they have like a mouth like a tardigrade.
with tardigrade.
Hmm. It's a
Forgot what
small,
they
very, very small
Yeah,
animal.
I remember what they are. I just forget what they look like. Yeah, something like that is my thought process. Um we could do something like that where they're more like a tardigrade type creature. Tardigrade humanoid. See if anybody's made a species that I can kind of use as a reference to talk about. This would be kind of cool. Something like this.
Hmm.
You know, having that something like that. Not quite because I'd want it to have like a long tail, like the worm-like body,
Hmm.
but similar to this is my thought process. I'm gonna save this so I have this for reference, so I can think about it. Okay. Um, let's see if I can describe that. um, Nemotods are long, worm-like bodies that have that are bipedal. Bipedal. Um, they have a circular mouth which processes um, mouth that can that has a long elongated long tongue which can be used long tongue circular mouth with a long tongue. Um, Small, beady eyes that are black and help see in the dark. Oh, damn it. I'm going to have a character race that has dark vision. I hate that. Um,
Why? Because dark vision is, you know,
Broken.
yeah. You come to a dark chamber. Oh, I. Do you have a torch with you? Oh, no, I have dark vision. I also have dark vision. I have dark vision too. We all have
We all
dark
have dark
vision.
vision.
Yeah.
That's the freaking point.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why,
So,
you know.
nematites are long worm like bodies that are bipedal. They have circular mouths that have long tongues. Their bodies have a long tail. They're small, beady eyes that are black and help see in the dark. Um, should they have slimy skin?
Yes, to get through tight spaces underground. Also, I was thinking, uh, what is midnight?
Midnight is the world.
Okay, because say if you have, instead of it being the world, it's a phenomenon where it's like a dark miasmic uh, thing where like once you experience it, it's and that's where monsters come from. And the thing is, you can't see in midnight. You can't
So
like
I've
yeah.
I've kind of decided that the monsters are breaking through it from another dimension by entering a through a veil, and this veil becomes weak at night. Um,
Yeah, that basically is what I'm thinking. Maybe the veil and midnight is the same thing, where uh, like you can't see through magic. You can't see through. So having dark vision would not exist. Would not be. Uh, it would be a moot point because just no one can see through it. The only way you can see through it is special lanterns or torches. Um,
no, I'm okay with some one of my species having dark vision. I just don't want like all seven of them to have dark vision like D&D does. That's just
yeah.
dumb. Um, beady eyes that are black and help see in the dark. Slimy skin, which is used to access tight places. Their collarbones
Dwarves would also need dark vision too.
actually break, actually can separate. Separate. I spelled that wrong. Separate. So that they can also squeeze into tight spaces. The long worm-like bodies that are bipedal, which are tall and lanky. Their arms are long, long, and drag. around. No, not dragon. Their arms are long. Yeah, I'll just put their arms along. Because these guys are going to be the weirdest of the group so far. They're going to be the hardest ones to come up with pictures for.
Hmm.
But I think they're going to work. All right. So, well, in that case, let's get rid of dwarfs too. We don't need dwarfs. We can call them something else. What if we make them hairy gorillas?
Hmm. And well, then they would be. And they live in the trees.
No, I don't want them to live in the trees.
They would live underground.
They would live.
Because you now have the Nemelith that are.
Oh yeah, that ground. Those are ground people now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put these guys in trees. Well, that's so common though. I mean, you got the Ewoks, you got the. It's so common to have hairy creatures in trees. Um,
What about if they live in the sky? In sky mountains.
no, I don't want that.
No.
That's too closely to my lizard folk and lake bound. Tree species. Tree forest. Let's see what comes up there.
What about species of owl people?
I have that in plague bound pretty much.
Oh yeah, the foul bears. Um.
I mean, I have the jaguars who are going to be in the forest,
Oh yeah.
so they can be my forest people. So let's see. We have the grasslands.
Mm-hmm.
We have the mountains. We have back to races real quick. So I can see
What about a seafaring?
we have the chola, which are desert.
Yep. What about if they're seafaring? Or swamp faring? They could be semi-aquatic, so platypus species.
Oh, I gotta go feed my kid.
Yeah, I actually have to head out soon.
All right. Well, let's call it there. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Neil, for jumping on.
Yeah,
You guys all have a nice night. And I'll go feed my kid. Bye, all.